2016 at 7 p.m. I'll call to order and determine a quorum is present. Alex Quintanilla.
Present.
Sally Martinez. Here. Katrina Reyes here. We'll do the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, I'd like to address the issue of the sex club which is coming to Von Army. And I don't know what and how we can shut it down. I've proposed to several people that are very concerned about it that maybe we should have a Citizens for Decency in Von Army take pictures of every patron that goes into that club and post it online. And that I think that will convince His Majesty that we don't want that in our city. I'd like to also address the agenda. I've gone back and looked at some of the previous agendas, and previous agendas up until sometime last year, when addressing the council, were, according to the Constitution of the United States, we're allowed to address anything, even that what is on the agenda. And I would like to have that removed in future agendas, please.
Okay, I'll get council, since it was council that proposed put us on there.
It was
I'll get
the previous
them.
council, who's not the brightest bulb in the back.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Mhm.
Cynthia Rockmontes. That was Charlie.
Oh, before I put my name on here, I gotta start doing it one every way.
Calm down. Calm down. What is it?
David Clark.
Oh, come on, please.
Yes, I'd like to address y'all about the sex club. Okay, it's not even 50 feet from bus pickup for the students of Southwest, and then within 150 feet of that place, there is a house with a bunch of little girls, little boys, and that's a dead end. You're asking for nothing but trouble. That's gonna be nothing but drugs, gunfights, drunk drivers. We don't need that. City of Von Army is supposed to be a nice little city, but it's turning into a slum. What are we gonna do about it?
We'll put that.
Y'all are council, you guys in charge of the city. You guys have authority to shut them down. You don't have to allow them to be in our city.
We'll address it at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Cynthia Rockmontes.
Well, my question is, what type of businesses are allowed in Von Army on the access road? Or do they have to be permitted? We were trying to open a truck parts store, and we were told that by the owner of the property, that would not be allowed in Von Army. Isn't that more of a business type than a kitty bar? Selling truck parts? I would say so. Or do we have to apply for a permit? And if we do, where and what is the zoning?
We have no zoning. Cynthia.
There's no zoning, so
Yeah, let me, I'll call you and let you know where you need to apply for the permit.
But wouldn't that be county zoning?
would that
No.
be for the city of Von Army?
No,
or-
city of Von Army has their own zoning. We don't have zoning, it's on the agenda because we need to get the board set up for planning and zoning.
So
But,
we would have to come before the board, the city of Von Army commission?
Can I ask one question? Who told you that you couldn't open up?
Parts of this.
The property owner.
Oh,
no, that's,
Well, I'm sure he knows more than I do.
well,
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 you're the
that's his
property
property,
owner
yeah.
Huh?
You're the property owner now, so.
No.
No,
It's
no,
not-
no, they were gonna lease it. If the property owner's not gonna allow you to do it, then there's nothing we can do.
Well, the only reason he was not gonna allow us to do it was because he said that the city of Von Army would not allow it. If I was a property owner, I mean, I wouldn't ask, I would just open it.
Let me call you tomorrow, and I'll tell you how to handle it. Okay, is there, Jane? Okay, the update on the quarter horse, Ida's running a little bit late. So, Ida's running a little bit late, so we'll have to, when she comes in, we'll go and put.
You can table and return that item.
Okay, so we'll table and return that. Discussion of possible action on approving minutes of February 3rd, 2016, and all matters related, and also I believe we needed to do,
But the thing is that I couldn't find them on my thing. I don't know if I deleted or what, my, what do you call it? The Word?
oh, okay,
Yeah,
you couldn't find them?
I couldn't find it.
Okay, then, can you read?
I can do it, yeah. Can we get agendas, copies of agenda?
There's one.
We discussed at Bear County, we were gonna, contract with Bear County.
What are you talking about?
I remember before on the minutes.
No, we said we were running for the building, that's the fire. We approved this.
And we also said we were gonna contract with Bear County. For
Yes.
Fire?
Fire, yep, I know.
We did a secondary.
He was appointed.
He was appointed, but he's a secondary. Just so we all know that he's a secondary. That's fine with me. Is there any motions to be made on that?
If you guys are, yeah. I make a motion that in item number 4, we revise that to say to have that Bear County is our primary.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Is there a motion to accept the minutes with the amended item number 4?
I make,
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Discussion of possible action abolishing ordinance 2010-45 fee schedule and reinstating fee schedule adopted January 6, 2016 as ordinance 2016-19, adding a business establishment fee and a percentage fee to establishments selling alcohol by the glass or bottle, can, and all matters related.
I want to withdraw my 2 things that I've on there because this is not the way I worded it.
Do it.
When I sent you my agenda items, this is not the way I worded it. And you changed it and you told me, so this is not what I wanted.
Which number's that?
Number 4.
No, but it covers both of our items. Because I have both of them now.
No, the way mine is, says I wanted to put a fee for a building permit for the certificate of occupancy. Also, the other one, I wanted to put a tax on the alcohol by the glass.
That's in
And that's
here.
all. No, it's not. It says a percentage to establish, it says a percentage fee to establishments selling alcohol, glass, bottle, can. I don't want to include the bottle and I wanted to do the alcohol by the glass only. So if you had wanted to do something else, well, that would have been fine, but that's not what I wanted.
But it's on the fee schedule.
Okay. When I turn something and I turn it in word by word, all you have to do is copy and paste. And this is, I don't want a percentage fee to the statutes. I want, you sell one glass of liquor, you can charge one tax.
Okay, well, we can change that out here if you want to change it on
We can still discuss it here, we'll just-
on the thing, it's just,
Can we discuss it? Because it's
You
not what I
can,
want.
just be sure, if you're gonna make a motion, that you spell it out exactly the way you want it, so it's clear. The agenda item is broad enough where you can talk about all these items and discuss them and take action.
okay. Well, the reason that I want to go back to this schedule is number one is to protect the citizens because exactly what you guys are complaining about. This will probably, unfortunately, what you guys are talking about or complaining about, we can't stop.
Why not?
Yeah, you can. We can't stop due to the fact that the permit was done on November 20, he put it in November 27. Our ordinance that was in place said from door to property line to door, 300 feet.
That's not 300 feet to that house.
It's way over, the houses weren't even in the ordinance. All it was a church or a daycare and a school. So that from door to property line to door, to property line to door, that is way over 300 feet. That's why we have changed that ordinance. Now,
So you're gonna grandfather that,
in his-
that ordinance? Is what you're saying?
Yes. In his permit, he said that the sellers of that property were very well aware of what his business was.
My understanding was supposed to be a VFW post.
At one time it was,
Oh, okay, that's what the original, when it was
At
first
one time.
sold, it was supposed to become a VFW post.
Not when it was sold to this guy. So this.
I'll bring
He
the man
sold
over here to
It's
tell
in
you
there.
that he did not say that.
it's in a
It's in
place.
his permit.
It's in a permit.
It's in his written permit.
Yeah.
That what, that we were aware?
But-
Yes,
yeah, it
the
had- it
sellers
had-
were aware of
I
their
think
business.
I think you were aware. Didn't you tell me
Hold on.
one time that y'all were gonna put girls in there?
That we were gonna put
Oh,
her?
yeah. And the conversation, oh, no, yes, you
Oh,
did.
no.
Oh, yes, you did. I
Because
think
you know what?
Okay.
We weren't
Hold on,
even
hold
ready
on,
to
hold on,
play.
hey.
We weren't even ready to
sorry.
play, so how are we gonna put girls in there?
Well.
Okay, all right. Anyway, this permit fee, not only will this help in instances like that, but this will also help because if somebody's putting a water line in, and they don't have a permit, and then we realize that they're putting a water line right next to 20 feet near a septic system. It basically, that septic system, if it leaks, it contaminates that water line. So it not only protects, shake your head all you want. I mean, not only protects you guys, but this permit fee allows us to be able to see what is going on in our city, what's being built, who's building it. There's very minimal charge to the residents. It's mostly for businesses.
Is it, you have a schedule?
When you
Of the
overcharge of businesses, they're not gonna wanna come here.
$100, $150, and $200 is not overcharging
Do you have a
businesses.
copy of the permit schedule?
In front of you, yes.
Well, we'd like to see it.
Which one, the one that's?
Oh, if it gets adopted, you'll see it.
You talking about the one we're gonna adopt? Here, here's a permit. I think this one overdoes it. I can understand trying to stop things, but this one's way too much, which is the reason that I.
This is the same one that you guys adopted on
No.
January
No,
6th.
it's not. It's way.
No, it's not, because it's actually photocopied from the original.
Tell you what, why don't we table this one move on, and we can come back, put it on the agenda, and bring all the schedules back, because I still have my copies of my schedule at home. I just took them out today. And we'll discuss that, because we're gonna be back and forth on what schedules to adopt and what's good and what's not. You know, we'll make copies for everybody, and we'll take a look at it, and then we adopt whichever one we think is feasible for us.
I agree with that.
Okay, then we'll bring that back. We'll table that.
Now, let's move to this last, the tax.
That's you.
Oh, no, we're gonna go to item number 2, the Quarter Horse Phase 2 CDBG grant and the Union Pacific Railroad.
Can we come back to item number 4?
We just tabled.
Yeah,
As I understand it,
but there's another part to it.
you
We're
tabled
tabling
the
the
issue
part,
involving the fee schedule.
Right.
You have not, at least I haven't heard a clear course of action on what to do regarding the percentage fee for the sale of alcohol,
by the
glass or bottle. It's
Right.
also on the agenda.
Well,
You can table that as well. but it's
well,
up to you.
we'll table that as well. Go ahead.
I kind of basically came to answer any questions, but I can give an overview, and then, as a council, close together, and you guys can answer questions. But, finally, the first phase of Quarter Horse has been designed, and we've got a contractor selected. The county let the contractor know, I think about a week ago, and so now it's just a matter of putting a schedule together for them, and then we'll let the council know, which will then let you guys know when that's going to get started. And I only brought one copy, but I can leave it here, so if people want to come and look at it after, they can. But just a general kind of overview. Phase 1 of Quarter Horse is going to take us from just south of Von Army Road all the way to the end of Quarter Horse, where possibly the future school will be. So from there all the way to there, we're going to get a new reconstructed roadway. We're upgrading all the drainage ditches and all the pipe culverts that go under the driveways. And there's also a couple of crossing culverts that are going to go under Quarter Horse. So we have a better roadway as well as better drainage in this area. And so that'll be phase 1. Phase 2 is what we're still working on. But phase 2 will be from where we left off on phase 1, and then it'll just continue towards I-35. So phase 2 will be about the approximate same length as phase 1 is, and then we'll just continue with phase 2, and then from there, we'll go to phase 3. So we're assuming that right now, we'll get Quarter Horse done in about 3 to 4 phases. Why we have to phase it out was because the county only allocates a certain amount of money to, they have a lot of cities that come in and ask for money every year. And so they can only allocate so much to all the cities. So Quarter Horse was one of the ones that was high on the list when we created the master plan about 3 years ago. And so it's been high on the list because this is the area that Von Army had indicated that they wanted to start developing it. Now the Marshall's building, and we've got the community center coming in now, if I'm correct or not, community building of some sort. So we wanted to get Quarter Horse looking good. Also, Independent School District was looking at possibly developing the property over there. So it all just kind of made sense in this time. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So again, if anybody wants to take a look at the plans and what's going to be constructed. Another part to why it was, why we're only able to phase it is because we had utilities that we had to move. So that costs money. So all of this is being wrapped into, all these fees. But like getting it, and we're getting a good chunk, a bigger chunk than I thought we were gonna get, so that's good too. We're able to take it all the way to Von Ormy Road. So that's Quarter Horse. I don't know if y'all wanna questions now or.
You know when they're gonna start?
At any time now, we just, like I said, the county just sent an email to the contractor to let them know that they were the selected contractor, so we've already gone through all the bidding. We reviewed the bids, we recommended this contractor. I called 10 references, had great references. They came in within the budget we wanted, plus we got to add a little bit. So they came in a little bit lower than our budget, which is great, so we got to add a little bit more roadway. So I'm imagining that they'll probably get going this month sometime, so maybe 3 weeks. I think we estimated about 3 to 4 months. So, and it just depends on the utilities getting out of the way. So sometimes that can be the issue, wait for the utilities to move. The good thing is that we've been working on this for so long that gas actually has moved out of the way. A lot of times they're the ones that take a long time. We don't envision any overhead utilities having to move. We try to design the ditches to where we weren't impacting them, and it looks like they'll be able to just kind of support, some of the grading that we did around there. So as long as they don't have to move, once you get into construction, sometimes you dig up things and things change. But right now, the way we have it designed, we don't have to move overhead utilities. But then SAWS has to come in and move their utilities, which their design is part of our package. So we were able to do a joint bid with them, which is great. So it made the cost lower. But yeah, so it should go pretty smooth, again, barring, just regular construction, issues that come up there.
Well, and what about the Union Pacific Railroad Road?
They haven't gotten back to me on that, and it's kind of what we've been talking about with councilman there. We still have the funding allocated for that road. But what's happened is there's no other place to really put the road. We've got a bunch of residents that live there who aren't really residents of the city, but they're people that live along this road. Do y'all know what road she's talking about?
Talking about one by the Shell station?
Yes.
Yes, the one that runs along right parallel to the railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Canada Road.
On the other side of the tracks.
On the other
That
side.
private road.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay,
private
on the other
road.
side of the private road. Yeah, you got,
You,
where the old the original post office was, then you got a house that was right there, then there was a house, another house, and then you go around the bend, and there's another house, so there's 4
Yeah.
houses there. The banks live in one, I don't know, I don't remember who lived on the very other end. I don't know if the old lady still lives in that.
There's a few residents that still live there,
Yeah.
so there's,
But
this,
that's a private road,
that's right, it is a,
that had nothing to do with the railroad.
Yeah, that's,
I lived on that side of the,
actually,
over in that area, one of those houses for years.
that road is their right of way.
it's in there right away.
It's in their right of
Oh,
way.
yeah, it's an easement.
It belongs to the
no, but
railroad.
There was
There is
never
no
an
easement.
easement prepared for that roadway. It's just a road that's always just kind of
Yeah, well,
been in their
when
right.
they first put the railroad tracks in, the road right there, that was just this side of the track, between the Shell and, that's what they were using, that was their travel road.
Well, actually, everybody, almost
And
every
until
property
the
owner,
bridge went down and they built 35 coming through.
almost every property owner that lived on that side had their own crossing over the railroad, and that's what they stopped. That's what the railroad stopped. That's the reason for the road.
Yeah,
being
they just
used.
had the one crossing over.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just back up.
Yeah.
They've allotted $485,000 or
Yes.
$85,000 for us to get our own road, so we're out of their right of way.
What they wanted was for us to get the road outside of the right of way, but there's no room for it because there's
There's no
properties
way, there
there.
is no room.
There's no room, so we've come back and said, look, we created about 3 different options, ridiculous options going through people's yards. We're like, it's not, we can't do that. We tried coming back around the back, but there's that creek there, that would be too expensive. So it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna have to stay within your right of way to some point. So our thing is we don't wanna lose that
How far do you want
funding.
this road to go up and down there?
It goes pretty far. It's,
They're talking about from the river all the way back to, let's see, well, they'd be coming back this way, going back to.
Yeah, going north, yeah, for it, ties in
Actually,
right
you'd be going
there.
south. Because if you go
Well, we
at
go
the
from
river,
there and
you'd
come
be
down
going
south,
south.
right, yeah.
Okay, until it goes right there. Okay, there's what, 1, 2 crossings right there?
Right, where there have
And then
been some
and
fatalities.
you'd only have like 2 little sections there where you would have to have a crossover. Have y'all even studied and examined that area?
They don't want a crossover. They want to keep those crossovers closed because there have been some fatalities there. So what we were trying to do is to give
Fatalities.
them,
In all years. It's possible, very
yeah, there
possible.
have been.
I just stick to the road and how
Okay, I'm
it's
sorry.
gonna happen.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
conversation.
we had that.
So anyhow, we got the money, we can't get outside of the right of way, so we're trying to come up with a different, option, where they allow us to stay within their right of way, because the road's always there. So we're saying, okay, we understand that if you guys are gonna come back and put another rail, you're gonna take the road anyhow, whether we have this new road or not. So when is that gonna happen? And they said, oh, maybe 20 years from now. Okay, well, can we get a better road for now? And then when you come back 20 years, we understand that you may take this road and we'll have to come up with something then, but at least we can have a better road in the meantime, and we don't lose this funding that they're giving us. So that's kind of what we're
It
at right
expires at the end of this year.
now. So we presented that to them. They have to go back and talk to their executives, and let them know, look, this is, they can't do anything, can we just give them a better road? And so that's kind of where we're at right now. I'll follow back up with, his name is Ivan. I'll follow back up with him. He told me to give him a couple weeks, so probably next week. And then I'll just.
Yeah, just let me know, if we're gonna be able to stay within a little bit in their right of way.
Sure.
If they want us completely out, because then that's gonna really, it's gonna really affect the property owners if we can't stay in their right of way.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, Ida.
Thank you.
Okay, number 5, discussion of possible action reestablishing the City of Von Ormy's planning and zoning board and all that. I'm sorry, what are we
Go back and forth.
number 4. What are we doing?
The tax by the glass of alcohol that Sally wants.
Sally, you want
We're gonna table it all for next time, Sally. We won't be-
I'll just bring it back. I want to put it the way I.
All right, we'll bring it back.
Okay, so we'll table that. Number 5, discussion of possible action reestablishing the City of Von Ormy's planning and zoning board and all matters related. Sally?
I thought it was time to go back to where we were on zoning. It's really important that we, as we know, the zoning. So, that's what I would like to reestablish it, see where we left off and where do we need to start.
Do you have that ordinance, Jane? That's it. That's what? Okay, anyway, I went ahead and drew up an ordinance. You don't have? Basically, just, we're changing the board of commissioners.
Oh, is it the same one we have?
Yes.
Do you have a number? It was 2011. It's the same.
Okay. Basically, it's the same, we're changing it to the Board of Commissioners.
Okay.
Okay, we're abolishing that 2011-83, which is the City Council, and we're changing it to the Board of Commissioners.
Do we really have to abolish it? Can we just make changes to keep it the same number?
What do we do then?
Well, one supersedes the other. It should be clear that your prior ordinance is rescinded. This new ordinance will have the full effect of a city ordinance for your current commission. It is a good practice, since you operate under a different form of city government, to be clear that any prior zoning and planning board that was constructed under the prior form of government no longer exists. You're now moving forward with a board under your commission.
So we need to abolish it.
I recommend it.
Yeah, well, it is abolished on here, so I'm abolishing that ordinance and putting it as the form of government that it is now. It's ordinance number 2016-20. I'd like to make a motion to accept ordinance 2016-20, establishing a planning and zoning commission.
I'll make a motion.
You already made the motion.
Okay, no, I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. And JD, be sure to send them the attorney and the ordinance.
Right. What was that number again? We got-
2016-20. Number 6, discussion of possible action contracting Bluehost as the hosting needs for the city website and all matters related. Sally?
I wanted to host for this particular person because they work with the ones that we hired to do the website. And I didn't bring the fees, but the one that I wanted was the one that's $14.95 a month. And it has everything and even backs up all everything that you put on there is backed up, so you don't lose it, once you give it to them.
Do they like codify the ordinances and stuff?
Codify, what do you mean codify?
In other words, when the ordinance is when they get sent the ordinance, then what they do is that if one ordinance relates to another, that they'll codify them.
Well, I'll probably have to tell them that because I'm gonna scan it.
Ask them if they can codify it.
Okay.
Most websites will do it, but just make sure.
Anyway, it was $14.95 per month, and there was this particular posting. And they even give us the name of the ordinance, which is $25 for the text stuff.
Do they have email?
Yeah, the email will be like mayor@tx.gov, and then Commissioner Policeman, Commissioner Police. That way, whenever it changes, they just change who it goes to. You don't have to change all of the emails.
Is there a motion to contract Bluehost?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Number 7, discussion of possible action approving changes adopted on February 3rd, 2016 on ordinance 2008-09, sexually oriented business and all matters related. Are the changes that we made and actually Sally, I know you said 1,000, but we're going to take it to 2,000.
No, let's do that.
And also, I added, which, I'm going to, like you, JD, I'm missing it. I changed it. I also added bus stops to the ordinance. So it's daycare, bus stops, school, church, and it has to be it's 2,000 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
We can't use it anymore, though.
That.
We can't use it with the present situation.
Any ordinance that you adopt today is effective today going forward. The law does not allow you to retroactively change ordinances pending application.
That's what Albert said. He said we can't.
Okay, can it require you to get a permit every year?
Okay, we just, we're not going to take any questions. I haven't say anything. We're just going to go on with the meeting. And anyway, and I've changed the ordinance number also. Okay, so we're starting with the brand new ordinance with the Board of Commissioners. This is City Council, so I have to change it. Okay.
Okay.
Discussion of possible action, number 8, discussion of possible action adopting the mayor's monarch pledge to raise awareness about the decline of the monarch butterfly and all matters related to
On number 7, was there any action? There wasn't a motion.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to bring the 2016-18 ordinance back related to the sexually oriented business with the changes that we just discussed. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Discussion of possible action adopting the mayor's monarch pledge to raise awareness about the decline of the monarch butterfly and all matters related. This came up in the when I went to the commissioners luncheon for the mayors, And basically, they're trying to get all the mayors to do a monarch pledge, which the monarch butterfly is becoming a endangered species. That they're trying to get us to do is like in our park, designate a place where we can plant milkweed and other plants, nectar plants that attract the monarch butterfly. So did you give them the pledge? So basically the pledge states, Mayor's Monarch Pledge Day Proclamation, whereas the monarch butterfly is an iconic North American species whose multi-generational migration and metamorphosis to caterpillar or to butterfly has captured the imagination of millions of Americans. And whereas 20 years ago, more than 1 billion eastern monarch butterflies migrated to Mexico, but in the winter 2014, only 60 million made the trip. And whereas cities, towns, and countries have a critical role to play to help save the monarch butterfly, and the city of Von Ormy, Texas deems it necessary to raise awareness about the decline of the monarch butterfly and the species' need for habitat. And whereas every citizen of Von Ormy can make a difference for the monarch butterfly by planting native milkweed and nectar plants to provide habitat for the monarch butterfly and pollinators in locations where people live, work, learn, play, and worship. And whereas the city of Von Ormy will designate a place in the city park to dedicate that portion specifically to the monarch butterfly and plant native milkweed and nectar producing plants. And whereas I'm honored to be the mayor that leads the city by signing the National Wildlife Federation's Mayor's Monarch Pledge to honor the monarch butterfly so that it may once again flourish across this great continent. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the city of Von Ormy does hereby proclaim March 2nd, 2016 as Mayor's Monarch Pledge Day in the city of Von Ormy. Do I have a motion to accept that?
I make a motion, we accept.
Is there a second? All those in favor? All those opposed? Ayes have it. Discussion of possible action reinstating, we're going to take that into executive session number 9. Janie, it's 7:40 and we are going to go into executive session. The Board of Commissioners shall convene an executive session as follows. Section 551.071, consultation with the attorney of the Texas Government Code to receive advice regarding all legal matters and scope of advice from the city. Number 9.
Before you do that, Madam Mayor, the commission.
Absolutely.
Regarding item 1, which is the census to be heard item, there's a gentleman who...
Charlie
spoke.
Brown.
Is he here?
No.
He's gone.
He made a comment that is correct. This language that limits the ability of citizens to address the commission is legally incorrect. And so I want it on the record and in the minutes that I'm advising the commission that any citizen can address the commission regarding any matter of public interest. The only condition to the presentation is that it be done in a way that does not disrupt the meeting. The Open Meetings Act has a specific disruption provision, which is a crime. Citizens can address the commission regarding any topic, as long as they're respectful, do not resort to insults or inflammatory behavior that could disrupt the meeting. So, Janie, please reflect in the minutes that my advice is that citizens can address any item of the commission.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When they ask a question, are we allowed to answer the question?
You should refrain. The meeting is between the commission. The only time that a citizen can address any public meeting, the commission, is during the citizens to be heard. That's why the opportunity is provided that people sign up. No one should be prevented from signing up. But the business of the city is conducted amongst the commissioners. So you should refrain from allowing an open forum. There is a provision that allows that when you have a public hearing. A public hearing does permit a round-robin discussion about items, but on issues on your agenda, That discussion and action should be limited to the commissioners only.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we, I'd like to make a motion that we post for a chief of police at $37,500, and it would post for an officer at $28,000.
I'll second that motion with experience. I'm just gonna add with experience that we're gonna ask for.
Okay. And is there a second? All those in favor? All those opposed? Ayes have it. Also, I'd like to make a motion that what we discussed in an executive session, we take the action on as we all discussed. Is there?
As directed.
As directed by the attorney. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Before you vote, I just want the minutes to reflect, Jane, there was no vote in executive session. I was directed to prepare certain documents for the mayor to sign. So make sure the minutes reflect no vote or action was taken in executive session.
We're just voting now to approve it, to direct, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we direct the attorney as we discussed in executive session. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Update on the police department and municipal building. I don't know if y'all have gone over there and seen it. It's the police department is getting rocked. And on the front, we are waiting for the water meter. We're waiting for CPS to get over there and get the electricity there. Once all of that is done, there's other things that we need to do to the police department to get it to where it will pass inspection. We have to pass TCOL inspection in order to make it a police department. The municipal building is there. We're waiting on the water, electricity. We already have the septic. It's a nice building. It's a beautiful building. Again, we're going to rock the bottom of that. We have to do the ADA compliant ramps and the porch that goes into it. So that's all being done. We're putting bids out for that. Hopefully, God willing, and we will be in that building by our next meeting. So, yeah, God willing, without any acts of nature that are going to ruin it. But we've worked hard on it. And it's been a long time coming. It should have been done 8 years ago, but it is what it is. Eventually we're going to have a grand opening and a blessing of the buildings. So we'll keep you up to date if it's done before the next meeting. We'll put out flyers, but we'll try to keep you informed as we go along.
We were able to secure some furniture for our building through our commissioner at no cost to us. I probably received we picked up and we have in storage right now, probably about $10,000 worth of desks, chairs, file cabinets, media stands. We have 34 or 35 chairs for the courtroom. We're patching them up right now, my wife and I. And so if you get a chance, you run into the commissioner somewhere, Commissioner Rodriguez, tell him thank you. We're going to send him a nice letter, and hopefully we can have him for our grand opening when we do have our opening. And they do this for nonprofit organizations such as ourselves that we're just getting started. And we actually went to their excess warehouse to pick everything out, and they have it just sitting there. So he was kind enough to tell me, pick out what you want. It'll come before Commissioner's Court. I'll approve it, and we'll get it approved, and it's yours to pick up.
Actually, Rachel said they were trying to give us anything and everything.
Yeah.
They were saying, take this, take that, take that.
They gave
But,
us a lot of stuff.
but also, what we'd like to do in the lobby is make it very homely, you know, so, anybody's got like a coffee table or any type of, seating or a sofa, you know, just to make it very comfortable when you walk into the municipal building. Just let me know. We'll take what we can get.
And if anybody has any old pictures of Von Army, we're gonna try to blow them up and put them in the pictures and hang them on the walls, decoration, show how our city was back then.
I got a very picture of the council.
We have a lot, if there's some pictures around, we'd like for y'all to give them to us so we can make copies and get all that done.
Sure, Mr. Warren.
Yeah, a picture, of, you know, whatever you think that we'd like, we'll get together, we'll decorate our buildings together.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? All opposed? We're adjourned.
Thank you.